What's going on, legends? This is Dan once again, and I want to go over today how to create your first seller's account. When I first started, there was a little bit of a hiccup for me. I didn't know exactly the right route to do this, and I want to make sure this is easy for you today. Also with me, I have my product researcher that's slacking off on her phone, and she had some questions about product research, how to create a seller's account, how to use a seller platform. And today, I think we're gonna cover the first thing is how to create the account, and then we're gonna go over how to navigate around the platform itself and the seller's platform.
And how to create your first product listing.
Oh, there you go, that too. What's going on?
You gotta say legends.
What's going on, legends?
Hello.
All right, let's jump on the screen here. So Teresa is actually fully on going to be creating her account, and then we'll navigate through the seller's account, and then any questions she'll have, you guys will get to hear. And if she has those questions, most likely all of you have those questions as well. All right, so as you can see on the screen, we're currently on the services.amazon.com page. This is where you create your seller's account. And if we scroll down to click on the pricing tab, if we scroll down to the area where they talk about the different options, there's a professional and individual. The difference is really if you're just starting out and you're not sure how many items you're going to be selling, then you probably want to start with individual. If you're thinking you're going to be doing this long-term FBA business, then professional is the route to go. I would say if you're still in the process of finding a product, and if you don't have this, like the samples even, don't bother paying 40 bucks a month yet. Get the individual until everything is ready to go, and then at the very end, when you have your products coming up, then switch it to professional. Okay. The one mistake I made when I started is I created a professional account from the beginning, and I had the Amazon rep helping me on the phone, and she actually realized she was making a mistake too, because I didn't even have my products coming through in the shipment yet I'm already paid 40 bucks down, and that's not beneficial at all. By the time I get my products to be shipped, I'm gonna be another 40 bucks down because the next month kicks in.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And there's no reason to lose 40 bucks every month until you actually have the products on the way.
You're making money, so.
Exactly. So let's just go back up to the top. We're gonna click on start selling. And of course you have to have your account. So this is a straightforward process. You enter your username and password and log in. If you don't have an account already, just click on create an account. All right, so now she is logged in, account is created, email is verified. Those are all the usual standard steps that everyone is used to. Nothing new here. Now, when you're on here, that's obviously a little bit overwhelming. There's quite a bit going on here. What would be the first thing you want to know?
So when I came to the screen, I had no idea what I was looking at, but I thought, you know, if I'm doing this, I'm probably gonna want to know how to add my first product, and I have no idea how to do that, so.
Okay, so you want to know the first product. So if we go to, on the top, you find inventory. And then we click on add the product. So the first thing we're gonna do here is you see there's a lot of options. You can type in a product name directly, a keyword or whatever of the product. You can type in the ASIN, and now I'm assuming most of the new sellers don't know what ASIN is. If you go on, let's open on any Amazon page. If we go, for example, type in nutcracker. So we type in nutcracker, you will see, let's just open any of them, it doesn't really matter. And we scroll down, we'll see that the ASIN number is actually in the description. Where is it? Right here. So this is the ASIN number. If we actually wanting to take that, we can, and just drop it in the search bar. And then we click search, and it will show us a bunch of results. But what we are doing here is, let's pretend we actually have a unique product or some sort of, we research something that's not as common as a nutcracker, and we'll click on actually create a new product. Or create a new product listing in this case. And here, what we can do is either we select the category ourselves and go through the whole process, or we can just type in the information at the top. So for example, let's go with a nutcracker. Type it in. Find category, search, and you'll see that there's quite a bit of categories that Amazon predetermines for you, and I would assume it's pretty easy to find which one fits the most.
Nutcrackers?
Yeah. So we'll click on that, and now we're at the page where you have all your information about this item. So title, description, and so on. So let's go through the fields really quickly. One thing to keep in mind, if you have variations, I would skip this first tab and I'll go right to variations, because that's where you will add all your variations, and then you'll put all the information about them So you'll see that the first tab changes based on the variations.
So the variations like the different sizes.
Exactly.
If you have an item with sizes or.
Yeah. So size, color, like if you actually click on the drop down, you'll see all the options they have. So in this case, let's just say it's a different size. So we'll click on the size name. Okay. Now it's asking you for the first size. So what do you want to call it? Small, large, medium, whatever. So for example, if this is going to be your small line, so you call it small. The next one over will be medium, for example. And then the next one over can be large, obviously. And we click add variations. And now all those were added. And now we have to go through the steps. So now we have to fill in all the info in there. So for example, we have the small size map. What it really is, if you click on it, it predetermines different options for you. So you can select whichever fits the most. In this case, we can just go with the general stuff, just to match what we have called it. Seller SKU. Seller SKU is whatever product ID.
KU.
Why did I call it KU?
SKU. SKU. Seller SKU.
So the seller SKU is what product ID you want to give it for your own sake to remember when you see purchases coming through. So in this case, we are selling clothes and you want to call it like the green shirt 1 or the green shirt small 1. So you remember that whoever purchased it, that was the small size of the green shirt.
Yeah.
Okay. In this case, in this nutcracker variation, I don't know what will have variations, but let's just go along with the example, right? So for example, it will be this small nutcracker, and you just type in small nutcracker, and then you'll give it a number, for example 01, and then you'll do the same thing for this one and this one. Product ID is based on the product type, so in this case usually it'll be your UPC code. I'll jump into I'll talk about the UPC code in another video, but really what it is the universal code, universal serial number that Amazon tracks your item by. So they're like $5 a pop to buy, and there's, if you search on Google UPC code for Amazon, I'm sure you'll find a ton of different options. So once you have that code, it's usually in the form of some kind of number. Okay. Item condition, I would hope you're selling new stuff. And then the standard price, that would be what price you want to sell it at. So if your item was, for example, $3 to source, your competitors are selling it for $16.99, you want to pick your price range. Let's say you're going with about the same, $16.99. Okay, and then you can put whatever price you want for the medium and large, assuming it's all going to be the same. Okay, and then for quantity, this is where things get a little bit tricky. So for quantity, you don't want to have, you don't want to put all your inventory in there, because that way people, competitors and so on, they can see your inventory. So you want to start with, obviously in this case you have 0 because you don't have the inventory. So for now, just set up the listing, we'll put 0 for all of those. Down the road, when you actually have the inventory in, you might want to put just a limit to 10. That way competitors cannot see that you have more than that if they decide to buy out, whatever the case is. There are actually hacks that I've actually researched of how to get into and see how much inventory the competitors have, and that can give you a competitive advantage because you can do more giveaways. You can try to rank them for various when they're low on inventory and so on. Okay, now if we go back to the main tab, you'll notice some of the fields have changed a little bit than before, because now most of our info is on here already. So now in here we need to add our product name, manufacturer name, and brand name. So product name is what is the title of the product.
Nutcracker.
Nutcracker, yes. So obviously that's just a quick little title, but for Amazon, if you want to be ranked on the first page, and this is again, this is a lot of research and a lot of compiling of what we've done so far. You want to have every single keyword in that product name.
It's going to be way longer. It's not just going to be Nutcracker. It's going to be all the keywords that we researched.
Whatever other terminology can be found for Nutcracker, so it can be cooking accessories, it can be whatever you come up with. Usually the best way to do that is go on the competitors already, because they've already done all the work. And there's obviously many tools for search, for keyword searching, but you can see heavy duty Nutcracker, and then you see nutcracker, walnut cracker, heavy duty, like shell cracker. So you use those keywords and put them all in your title. Obviously optimize it to the best of your ability and make sure you have the nicest title that triggers the most views. You want to target not just one keyword and repeat it in different ways. You want to try to cover as many different types of keywords, different combinations, so you rank for all of them. Manufacturer is who is creating the item for you, obviously. So I know the first thought you might have is, well, it's my Chinese supplier, but in this case you don't want anyone to know that, so call it whatever your brand name is. So let's just say ABC in this case. Now the brand name is what is the brand for this specific item you're selling that you're going to be categorizing it under. So for example, Apple is the brand, it's the manufacturer, and then the brand name is Mac because that's the computer. So you want to have something similar differentiation in your product. That did not make any sense, similar differentiation. Now we go to images. Obviously straightforward here. You want to add very high quality images, clean white background, and make sure that you do a step ahead of what the competitors are doing. Description stands for itself. Now this is where you can really utilize adding as many keywords as you can. So the product description is where you add your keywords as well. Of course, this is an important area, not just to help the customer find out what the item is all about, but this is where you want to trigger other areas of keywords that you might have not been able to cover in the title. So if we go back to our competitors over here that we're looking at, let's just click on any of them. Oops, I don't know how to here. Let's click on that one, for example, and we scroll to their description. So they're not really utilizing the space for proper description. I mean, they're just covering the basics. You can do a lot better than that. You can write out a lot more keywords in there, and that will help you rank better. Let's see if somebody else did a better job than they did. Let's click on this guys, for example.
Lots of reviews this one.
Yeah, so let's see. So they wrote a little bit more information, which is helpful for sure. The more you write in this area, I would say keep in mind what your competitors are doing. Try to replicate the success there, but at the same time make it your own, and then use as many keywords in that area as you can. Alright guys, so we went over the very basics of showing you how to navigate through a seller's account, how to create the account obviously, and how to add the first product. Very bare bones stuff, just so you get the idea. Of course, there's a lot more details we can go over and go more in depth. Next video guys, we're gonna show you how to do product research, how to find the right product, the do's and don'ts, the things that she's doing behind the scenes a lot, and maybe she'll be able to show you guys some cool stuff that you have never seen in other videos. And another thing I wanted to introduce you to is our Facebook group, the FBA Legends, just like this channel. Link in the description below. This is for FBA sellers from beginners to intermediates, just like us. And this will be a little community for questions, answers, of course. We'll be asking questions too, so hopefully the more advanced of you guys can help us out as well. Otherwise, guys, we'll be back in the next video probably in a week or so, and we'll see you in the next video.
Okay, bye-bye.